Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Beyond the Draft, Drafting the Magic's little summertime session we got going on. And Eric, the weeks are counting down. We might not be doing Beyond the Draft very much longer. I think we have at least a general idea of when season 3 is going to start.
Yeah, our summer is winding down. I mean, calendar-wise, we got a little ways to go, but for us, it's been fun. You know, we still got a lot more to talk about over the next few weeks, but it's time to get back to drafting here soon.
Yes, let's do it. But, before we talk about that, before we talk about anything, we got to talk about the fit check that we both got going on here, Eric. Yeah. The Main Street dudes hooking it up with fantastic t-shirts. Today, you are wearing the Cosmic Tour, a direct reference to Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind out in Walt Disney World at Epcot. And I have, well, the old saying goes, dead men tell no tales. It's a Pirates of the Caribbean shirt, but it's a cool shirt, a subtle Disney shirt that you can go and wear and have a great time. Eric, we talk about it all the time. The Main Street dudes have an array of collection, whatever. They've got a bunch of cool stuff, and I just want them all.
Array of choices.
That's the word. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, the t-shirts are wonderful. They're comfortable, first of all, which is the most important thing for me. Not many things fit me. I have a very strange body shape, so these shirts are amazing. Can we talk about the fact how you and I both wore the same shirt today, and then I got a text message and you said, hey, I'm wearing the Dead Men Tell No Tale shirt, and I had to go change just so we can be different.
Yeah, we got to represent the whole brand.
Yeah. I mean, that's a little behind the curtain for you, but yeah, that's what happened. So we both had the same idea today, but no. So instead, I put the shirt of the one attraction I haven't been on. So it's great.
Regardless, a big thanks to the Main Street dudes for providing the shirts all summer long for us here at Drafting the Magic. Looking forward to possibly collabing with them in the future. We'll see. We don't know. They don't know. We don't know. We haven't asked. We have to get to that point first. But regardless, a huge thanks. These shirts are fantastic. And if you haven't gone over there yet, go to cornerofmain.com and find the Main Street dudes button that you can click. Follow them on Instagram too. It's just the best t-shirts for Disney loving people. Main Street dudes, you got to check it out. Well, Eric, not always great news. Unfortunately, Walt Disney World was under tornado watch, and then all of a sudden the tropical storm Debby got upgraded to a hurricane. Florida and a number of other states on the East Coast under emergency procedures. And I just figured it would be a good time, first off, to send the love out to everybody out there that's dealing with this crazy storm, but also for you, who's been in a hurricane in Walt Disney World, to kind of just talk about Disney's operation for all of that. Obviously, safety is number one, but how do they keep the guests comfortable? And I don't know, how do you not let it ruin your vacation too? I mean, we know you didn't get Skipper Canteen, we know, but how do you go forward after all of that?
Yeah, that was the least of our problems while we were out there. First of all, just like you said, hoping everybody's doing well out there. Thankfully, right now, as the time of the recording of this show, it's only a category 1. When I was out there, it was a 2, but it had gotten up to a 5 before it got downgraded. So that was Hurricane Irma, by the way, back in 2017. For those of you who remember that one, there is no safer place to be than on property at Walt Disney World if there's a hurricane coming through town. We learned that. We were staying at Art of Animation. We had a family suite up in the Lion King building when we were out there. And that made things a little bit more tricky for us because the building itself is detached from the lobby. So there was no, you could just go back and forth and get supplies. No, you can't, because you would have to go outside, and they didn't want anybody outside. So we were on lockdown in our room for about a day and a half. Everybody else who's in a hotel where the lobby connects to the building, like if you were staying, say at Grand Floridian, or if you were staying at Contemporary, easier to move about the building, easier to get to where there might be food. So we had to actually stock up the day before the hurricane came, and it was organized chaos. Things weren't out of control, but there was a lot of people, right? So for those of you who've been to Art of Animation, if you think about the quick service area, lines were out the door, or out the entryway, and going through the entire registration area. through where the little arcade is. Like the entire lobby was full of people queuing up to get into the quick service to try to get some food. Back then, dining plan's back now, but back then, when we had the dining plan, we were able to use our quick service credits to get meals in that restaurant. So that was nice. We had a lot of food. I'll tell you that right now. We were able to stock up the suite nice and good for those few days. We didn't even eat all the food. That's how much we had. But we were totally safe. I'll tell you what, when the hurricane rolled through, you didn't know there was a hurricane going on outside unless you actually looked out your window. That's how strong those buildings are. They're reinforced pretty well. So no safer place than to be at Disney World. They, some of the prep work I noticed now, I know I've worked for the company for a very long time, but I've never worked at Disney World. So there's not really a hurricane protocol in California. We don't need it. In Florida, there is, of course. And you could see them preparing the day before. We were at Epcot the day before. They were strapping trash cans to the fences along the shorelines of some of the beaches at some of the resorts. They were stacking up the beach chairs, zip tying those all together and strapping those to some fences to make sure those don't go anywhere. They don't have storage room for everything. So a lot of stuff had to stay outside, plus was still being used by guests. Light posts. I think one of the most interesting things I've seen, or I saw when we were out there, if you looked at some of the chandeliers that hang, especially around the American Pavilion at Epcot, they had chandeliers hanging with multiple light fixtures, and the way they secured those was they kind of strapped them all together using cellophane and plastic wrap, because if the glass shatters, it's all contained and it doesn't go all over the pavement. And they did that with a lot of the regular light poles too. Everything was wrapped up, so if anything broke, it was just kept into that little package, if you will. So lots of protocols to keep people safe. No better place to hang out than there if one is rolling through town. So hopefully everybody out there is being safe and everybody's all right, and we can move on and get back to the sunny days ahead.
You said we don't have protocol out here in California. I don't remember. I remember that like almost a year ago, we had Hurricane Hillary that everyone kind of overreacted to, and people's vacations were cut short and all of this stuff, and then it didn't need to be. Anyway.
Right. But there's no actual hurricane protocol out here.
True.
We have our bad weather protocols and what happens if there's rain and lightning and all that stuff, which is basically what we go by. But no parade. And I remember one year, and I think it's happened a couple times, and actually I think it did happen that weekend. You and I were covering hockey out in Las Vegas that weekend, and we had to come home early because
that's
the storm
what I was
rolling in.
To.
Yeah, but at the resort, I think they shortened the operating hours that day that it happened. And we've had that happen throughout the years. There's just sometimes where the rain is too heavy and transportation is a concern. No real flooding issues. Maybe a street here or there. Here in Orange County, it doesn't get too bad even when the rain's that heavy. But there's bad weather protocols. We just don't have really hurricane protocols in Southern California.
Now the problem is the more the people than the infrastructure around here,
right?
Which most of our viewers know. We know most of our new viewers know that because we'll talk about it in a little bit. But pretty sure most of our viewers are from Disneyland. At least a lot of the Instagram voters. We'll talk about that and how insane a lot of people are. Another thing that we'll touch on in a little bit, Eric. We have a very special announcement at the end of this episode. Something that we have never done on Drafting the Magic before. So we will get to that in just a little bit.
And it's about time.
Yeah, you're right. It's about time. You're darn right.
And I know it's our fault, but still.
It is our fault. It is our fault.
We're the only two who do this.
That's fine. Whatever. Before we do that, we mentioned that your favorite attraction, Haunted Mansion, was reopening last time we talked. And this time, Haunted Mansion's 55th birthday coming up, and there's going to be a commemorative sipper of the Hatbox Ghost. Just wanted your kind of thoughts on, I know you love everything Haunted Mansion, so I just wanted your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It seems like everything is getting its own sipper or popcorn bucket or something to go along with the occasion, which I think is a brilliant marketing decision by the team. So keep that up. That's good going. I don't particularly buy things like that. That's just me. because I don't have a lot of room to hold on to these things. I was at the mansion 50th anniversary celebration, which took place basically overnight. It was a 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. affair, so that was a lot of fun. I had a
nuts.
we had a absolute blast that night, though. I had a lot of character meet and greets, and the attraction was open, of course, and little shows here and there. So that was a really cool night. But as far as holding something in my hands, I don't really go for it a ton. But for the people that do, great move. Get something to commemorate the occasion. You mentioned last time we talked was right before it was going to open. We know virtual queue is being used to help with the queues right now, and from what I understand, it's been going okay. They haven't really needed the virtual queue, but with all the construction going on in the area, it's just better to limit the number of people that are wandering around in front of it. So good on them. But it looks like whenever you want to get a virtual queue, you've been able to.
Which is refreshing compared to some of the other virtual queues that are done an eighth of a minute after it opens. But regardless, excited. I'm kind of sick of celebrating, I don't know, every 5th birthday. I know that it's somehow a milestone, but like we just did the big 50. Like, I don't know. Like I'm also going to be upset when Disney. I know we're about to get announcements about Disney's 70th birthday. No one cares about the 70th. 75th is going to be the big. Yeah. Like I don't know.
You're right to think that. I mean, look, we all celebrate our birthdays every year, right? Mm-hmm. We all get gifts, or we all go do something, and it's like they're trying to bring that mentality to all these attractions. Mm-hmm. And all the parades, whatever is hitting a milestone. But I think you're right. It doesn't need to happen every year. It doesn't need to happen once every 5. You can just hit the milestone ones and be good. And I just think with the demand and how many people are looking for stuff to buy, that's the excuse you can use and why you would put something out every year. Just drum up interest. People are going to buy it. Is it going to sell out? Maybe not this particular one, but you're going to make something off of it. Might as well.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure it'll sell out in 2 seconds. So
I don't know. I don't know that this particular one will. We'll find out. Because you see all the folks that queue up, right? So early in the morning, and they got to get a ticket, or they got to get a wristband, or however it works. The tiki mugs over at Trader Sam's seem to sell out every single time, and they've got lines down the street on those mornings.
Yeah. But I think those are a lot more limited than just the cheap plastic,
right?
That they are going to use for this. Usually those mugs are a little bit better quality and glass probably and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just I don't know. And if you celebrate every single birthday, the big ones don't feel as special. And so, I don't know. I think the 50th was a big thing for Haunted Mansion. 55, I guess, is one of those magic numbers with Disney, just because that is the year that Disneyland opened was in 1955. So I'll give you a little bit of credit there, but give it a rest with the attractions' birthdays. You know what's going to be huge though, Eric? You know what's going to be gigantic?
What's that, Christian?
The Disney Destiny. Disney Destiny. Holy smokes. The announcements that came out last week. I don't really want to go too much into it because everybody already knows it. We're paddling 6 days after all this announcement got announced. All these things got announced, but holy smokes. I've never been on a Disney cruise. I know you have. I want to, and maybe I'm going to call it the Disney Marvel, even though it's not officially called that. But there's Marvel stuff everywhere, and I want it all. This is just another big thing for the company, man.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I've been on a Disney cruise before, I went on the Disney Magic, and it was 2006, and cruise ships are not the same. they are much, much different than the Magic was when it first debuted. I mean, even the Magic has gotten upgrades that I didn't get to see. I mean, these experiences on the sea are. It seems like it's the way to go now, isn't it? I mean, everybody's going on a cruise every other day. It seems like. It's like the focus has kind of shifted that way. How long until Universal has a cruise?
Oh, it can't be long. It can't be long.
I think they might have to partner with a cruise company. I don't think they're going to start their own line.
I know people who go on cruises so often where I'm like, how can I afford this many cruises? I don't know how they do this. Like but it is the big thing.
Yeah, it's a totally different experience. I'm not saying people are theme parked out. They're not. But when you put it you know, when you have yourself a floating theme park basically, and everything is right there, why not? And you get to go to these private islands, and you know, we got to go to the Bahamas, which is where most of the cruise line goes right now. But with all these new ships, they're going all over the world, right? You can go to the Mediterranean, you go up to Alaska, you go to Canada, you go wherever you want. Nowadays, I had like 2 options when we went on ours.
That's true.
And there were only 2 ships back then, and they did the same thing.
Yeah, now there's more than some countries have in their navy.
Literally.
Unbelievable.
Literally.
Eric, the other thing that happened earlier this week, D23 Day at Angel Stadium. They had Mickey Mouse there, and he took a picture with Mickey Moniak, which I love. That poor guy. That poor guy, when he got traded to Anaheim, was like, oh man.
The second most famous Mickey M in Anaheim.
Exactly. But the other thing, and I actually have one with me, they gave out a Mickey bobblehead.
Hey,
and you'll be clear that it does not have the Angels logo anywhere, because they're not even dumb enough to associate themselves with that team right now.
Oh no.
But regardless, on one side it says D23 Day at Angel Stadium, and it's got the date, D23, the official, what is it, Disney fan club, and then there's nothing. I think it's the first bobblehead where I've seen there be nothing on one side. But Mickey's in the pitcher position, and he's having, that's just awesome. I love this, and it's all getting this big week excited for everything. And you know, the Angels are out of town next weekend, I think, so that's why they did it this weekend. And you know, everything's going on at the Honda Center across Catella and the 57 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and everything else. I thought this was a great way for the city to have a little bit more of a D23 celebration, and getting it kicked off on Sunday. This is D23 week.
Yeah, there's a reason they waited for the Angels to go out of town. They're probably going to need all that parking next week. Yeah, every 2 years, right? The big show comes to town. Well, it doesn't really come to town. They just kind of expanded outside the the berm, as they like to say.
Yep.
This is a massive week. I mean, when Friday rolls around, I mean, well, Wednesday, Thursday, when everybody starts coming to town, you're gonna start feeling it around here. And I know a lot of our friends who've been guest judges on this show are coming to town to experience the expo. So safe travels to them coming in, and maybe we'll get to run into and meet them in person for once.
Yeah,
you never know.
I like that idea. I love that idea. That's a great idea.
But this is the anticipation for this D23 obviously is a lot more than the other ones in the past.
Yeah.
Because of all the criticism that's being stoked around the company right now, and what's going on in the theme parks, and what's Josh D'Amaro going to say when he takes that stage on Saturday night. That's going to be the marquee event, is the Disney Experiences panel, where they're going to talk theme parks, and we're going to see what we're going to get, and maybe get some more details. I think you might think a little differently, but we'll see.
I heard a rumor, Eric. I heard a rumor.
Oh.
Disney Hollywood Studios getting a new roller coaster. Gasp.
A new roller coaster?
A new roller coaster.
Or an overlaid roller coaster?
No, a new roller coaster. That apparently the talks were way back in the day, and then they've been revived, that we might get a Monsters Inc. door coaster to Hollywood Studios. Give me that in that godforsaken Disney Junior courtyard with Star Wars launch bay, and terrible.
I mean, they certainly have the room to put something like that in there, right? Even if it means knocking down a hotel that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, that
still
would
room.
be. Yep, get rid of it all. Bulldoze it all, please. Get rid of it all. Regardless, Eric, do you have any final predictions for D23 that we maybe didn't cover yet?
I don't know how specific to get with this because I haven't thought it completely through.
All right, that's fair.
But I think at minimum, we're going to get 2 ride announcements that we have not heard of yet.
Ooh.
Worldwide. I don't know where they're going to go. We're going to get the updates on everything that already has been announced. Maybe not everything, because I'm guessing some things probably got scrapped. What, I don't know. I'm just guessing. But I think we get 2 announcements for attractions we have not yet heard about.
Bring it. Bring it.
And that's what they need to do. They need to bring it, right? Epic Universe is around the corner. That's where all the focus is shifting. How do you get some of it back?
They rented out an NHL arena for, well, I mean, it takes longer than 3 days to put this on, right? all the time to prepare the arena, probably the time to get the arena taken down. They better use this space accordingly. Otherwise, I think they're going to have, I will say, if they don't, full mutiny on hand. If this is just another blue sky, full mutiny.
I heard, and this is a rumor, it's not confirmed. I heard it takes at least a week to load everything in.
That's insane.
To Honda Center.
Yeah. That's insane.
It might have been 2 weeks. I thought I heard one. It could have been 2.
That's what all those Disneyland trucks were going down Catella. Regardless, we're pretty.
Wait, are you serious, or were you just being
sarcastic? No, I was just being sarcastic. I don't know.
I was like,
no.
Did you actually see them?
You think they're dumb enough to have it on their? No, they're gonna keep that hidden. They probably have a bunch of Universal trucks.
No, they can roll in with. Everybody knows the convention's going to be there. It's not like it's a glass box and you can see everything in it.
That's true. Can you imagine the merch leak though? Oh my gosh. You never know what would happen if the merch leaks. So who knows? You know what else we never know what will happen, Eric? Is the drafting the Magic this or that summertime showdown. And I know what you're thinking. I'm not as excited about this as I have been in the past because I'm so disappointed in the voters. It's not even funny. So
way to sell it and get more viewership.
Go over. Oh my gosh, people. What are you, nuts? Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa here at Disneyland Resort defeats the Polynesian. Stop clapping. You know that's not the correct answer. You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous.
Those are my people.
So that is the best hotel according to our viewers. The best hotel out of all of Disney, Grand California. Okay, well, we'll see. And meanwhile, it's going to take on the best attraction, which is Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. It edges out Cosmic Rewind by 1 vote, Eric. Wow. Holy smokes.
Wow. 2 fantastic attractions, so I've heard. I've been on one of them.
Oh, boy.
Said the guy with the Cosmic Rewind shirt.
Yeah, there you go. But, 1 vote, that's awesome. I love it. Phantasmic is the best show and or landmark. Phantasmic at Disneyland,
of course,
burnt lizard and all. Taking on Blue Bayou Restaurant somehow makes it into the final. Are you kidding me, guys? Okay, listen. I can tell, Eric, that we have a primarily Disneyland base here.
Oh, we know that. I got friends who operate Blue Bayou, so
I don't agree with I think any of these. I think any of them in this fabulous 4 showdown that we have. But
this is you we're talking about.
So. I guess. Well, regardless, thanks to everybody for voting. Keep up the voting. I think the vote's going to happen on Saturday again this week. This is the semifinals. And then when we get to next week, we will talk about the final matchup in the Summertime Showdown. I cannot believe we're finally here after so many rounds of this and keeping track of so many Instagram scores. We are almost to the end of it. And I don't believe in any of the remaining group. But, you all do. So good for you. Well, Eric, we are so excited. We are diving into something we have never done. This is the big announcement that we teased. We're going to do a giveaway, Eric.
Hey, it's about time.
This is so exciting. I'm freaking out about it. What we are giving away, you need to know what we're giving away. You remember that amazing D23 day at Angel Stadium Mickey Mouse bobblehead that I was showcasing and I'm now currently spinning in my hand?
I do, and I'm glad you showed it again because I have short-term memory loss.
I know. We have 2 more of these still in the box, and they are going to be given away through a social media giveaway starting tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. There are 4 things you must do for this giveaway to potentially enter your chance to win it. Number 1, you must follow the @DraftingTheMagic Instagram account. You have to follow us on Instagram. Basic. Most of you already do it. It's okay. Number 2, you must subscribe to the Drafting the Magic YouTube channel. So search @DraftingTheMagic in the YouTube search bar. Make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Number 3, you must share the original post, again, which goes out at 8 a.m. on August 8th, to your Instagram story. And finally, number 4, you have to tag 5 friends in 5 separate comments. That will make you eligible for this giveaway. No purchase necessary. Financial contributions will not increase the odds of winning. Void where prohibited. Yada, yada, yada. We'll have all the legal jargon in there as well. But Erik, this is so exciting. We're finally giving something away with the Drafting the Magic podcast. Like, this is awesome.
You know, it's been a long time coming. We are just a small operation here, so I'm glad we can finally contribute to society in a positive way. Maybe brighten your day. So, yeah, no, this is good stuff. Good luck to everybody out there.
I don't. As much as I love bobbleheads, I don't know if this is contributing to society, but it might brighten somebody's day, especially if you didn't live in the Southern California area. Now you have the opportunity to get this really cool bobblehead. I mean, it is a pretty darn cool bobblehead, very high quality. It's fantastic. So make sure you enter to win, because why wouldn't you?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory, really.
It's pretty
I don't even have one of those.
I know. I thought about giving you one of them, but then I was like, no, we're going to give them away.
Yeah, we'll give them to the people. It's fine.
Maybe one of our listeners loves you enough to enter so that you can get it. The only two people that are ineligible to win this are you and me. Probably our family too, but we definitely can't win it.
And you got one.
Can you imagine? I enter and I'm the one who gets pulled.
Yeah.
So this is going to run through. We're going to actually draw the name, the two names of each that win a bobblehead, right after D23 ends on Sunday. But you can be eligible to enter the contest up until midnight Sunday morning. So up until 11:59 Saturday night. After that, we're going to have to rack everything up. We're going to have to do math and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to make Erik count a bunch of things, and then we will officially get this. We're going to release the winner. We're going to tell everybody who won on our next show, which we'll release on August 14th. One of the final Beyond the Drafts of the summer, because we're coming up on the next season of Drafting the Magic. So that's what you need to know. We will then also notify the winners. There's a bunch of other stuff on that we will get to. But Erik, I think this is a cool thing that's going on. And man, what a great episode of Drafting the Magic Beyond the Draft.
Now, to be clear, this is 8 a.m. Pacific time.
Oh, good call. I keep forgetting to do that. And there's a certain somebody who lives in Florida that you apparently aren't friends with that calls me out on it every single time. Dustin. So 8 a.m. Pacific time is when that is going to drop. And then 11:59 Pacific time is going to be when it stops on Saturday night, going into Sunday morning. We'll all be freaking out already by the news that's been announced Saturday night. So
we'll be wide awake.
We're gonna have to shelve our obsession for that to really get all of this in order. But we're excited about this. There are some more eligibility things that you'll see in the post. Make sure you read everything on that. And we are so excited to give two of these bad boys away. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, let's get some stuff out.
Make sure you get ahead of the game. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, and making sure you are subscribed to us on YouTube. And then, of course, you want to make sure you're following us on Facebook, TikTok, X. Make sure you drop a speak pipe. Oh my gosh, how cool would it be if a winner did a speak pipe? That would be awesome. I'm just saying it'd be awesome. But regardless, thank you so much for joining us for this amazing episode of Drafting the Magic. Any last minute thoughts before D23, Erik?
Yeah, I was just going to say, everybody enjoy D23. If you're going, be safe. There's going to be a lot of people in Anaheim and not as much parking as you'd like. So just plan accordingly, enjoy everything, and we'll talk to you next week.
I wonder if they'll put a teacups ride in the UK pavilion.
Action.